Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, today I'm going to be covering Unown and the way that it functions in Pokemon Sweltering Sun. So, for my returning viewers and for fans of my work, bear with me. I'm going to be doing a bit of a more detailed introduction than I usually do for my videos, purely because I anticipate that this video is going to attract a lot of new people. Just given from what the title and thumbnail is going to be. It's fucking unknown. I think a lot of people are going to click on this and know nothing about the hack. So, before I talk about anything else, all right, before I address the elephant in the room, which is WonderGuard Unknown, I'm going to talk about the hack. So, Pokemon Sweltering Sun is a ROM hack where I have. Ooh, Caesar Ruins is a good song. Anyways, okay. Also, if you're new here, yes, I do ramble and I do not script my videos because I feel that they can be kind of inorganic and they can feel fakey when they're scripted. And also, I just don't have the time for that. I already put way too much time into this hack. It would take way too much time to script these. So once I get into flow of things, I'll be able to start talking. So. Yeah, it's a ROM hack where my main goal was to make all Pokemon viable. Not just viable, but unique and fun to use. I've also rebalanced lots of things massively. Moves, stats, everything is totally rebalanced. There's dozens and dozens of new moves, over 27 new abilities, held item changes, all kinds of amazing stuff. It really, like, every single Pokemon has an in-depth, long video going over my thought process, and I've put in hours of thought into every single Pokemon and the way they will function and the way they interact with one another, and really interesting and unique buffs, stuff you've never ever seen before in ROM hacks, that's for sure. Obviously, some of this stuff you will have seen, but in terms of everything in one place and the sheer level of like detail and changes and buffs, it's definitely something that has never been done before. I'm positive on that. And I wanted to introduce that first before I talk about this, purely because people might not know what the hell this is, what this is talking about. So this hack is currently in development, and I actually record and upload these videos as I am in the process of finishing the changes. So currently I am halfway done with Johto, and I am finished with Kanto. There is a link to a Discord server in the description if you do find this video interesting by the end of it. It's actually not going to be that thorough, only not that it's not gonna be thorough, but there's not that much to talk about. I mean, I could talk about the thought process, but in terms of the way it functions, it's very self-explanatory. But it will still probably be like a 30-minute plus video if I had to guess, from this intro and then also the stuff I do have to cover with this with Unknown. But I am sorry, by the way, if you are a recurring viewer, and this is probably all the stuff you know already, but I kind of have to do this. I might actually put a timestamp for the intro. I will be doing that actually. So once I'm done talking about the intro, I'll check the video music and I'll see how long that's been. So yeah, that's the goal of the ROM hack. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. It's challenging, but it's fair. I don't want to make it stupidly hard, but it is definitely challenging. It's balanced with hardcore Nuzlocke in mind. Again, if you like this kind of thing, like, you would love my other videos, because I have a lot of other videos for all of the Pokemon I've finished so far. So that's going to be really awesome. So yeah, if you find any of this interesting, feel free to check out my other videos. They are very informative, and I think you will hopefully enjoy them. And they'll hopefully be, something that seems like it explains things. So I think that's really it for an intro. I mean, there's not too much to talk about. I mean, I could go into nitty gritty, but when I say every move has been changed, I mean literally like every single move has been reworked and balanced. Excuse me, these are the exclusive moves. I have to copy paste Unknown's picture there, because they are one of the few Pokemon to get this move, Ancient Force, which I will cover in approximately like 10 seconds. Oh, and Secret Power. Secret Power is not even that great. It's there because of Dunsparce. Dunsparce is gonna have it. But yeah. So, oh, did the sheet just poop itself? Oh, my Wi-Fi didn't. That was odd. Whatever. Yeah, the sheet just pooped itself, but it's fine. Okay, there we go. It's good now. Maybe because I refreshed or something. I don't know what that was about, honestly. Sorry, everyone. So, yeah, I mean, every Pokemon has been reworked and rebalanced, and they're all much stronger. The overall power levels of the hack are far stronger. There are tons of new signature moves and strong moves, and just everything is totally rebalanced. There are even type chart changes, however, those are optional. I will be releasing a patch without those for people who hate that kind of stuff, because I know a lot of people don't like type chart changes. But those type chart changes are going to get a video of their own soon. But I do have text explanations on here in the meantime if you are curious on that. But in short, Fairy Ghost and Fighting don't resist Bug, and then Ground Flying Dragon don't resist. Sorry, Ice Resist, Ground Flying on Dragon. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking about this right now, but if that interests you or it piques your interest, you can always check out the sheet for more detail on those until I make a video, which I will eventually make a video covering my thought process on those. And of course, that's optional. I will be releasing a patch for the hack without those changes if you don't want to play with them. Just know that I did balance them. I did balance Pokemon with those changes in mind. Not to say that you can't play without it, it's just, suboptimal. So yeah, I think with that being said, I can finally get into Unown. So what timestamp will that be? That will be 5:23. Okay, so about 5.5 minutes of intro. So now we're actually going to talk about Unown. All right, elephant in the room, Wonder Guard. A lot of hacks have tried to make Unown usable. I know, like, oh my god, Drayano, Renegade, like he always does the thing where he just gave it 72 special attack and like a decent move pool. I know other hacks have given it Cosmic Power and Stored Power, which is actually halfway decent. But with the power levels of this hack, it would not be able to stand a chance, not even close. Really, it would not be able to stand a chance. So I went ahead and give it Wonder Guard. So Unown and Shedinja are the two Wonder Guard Pokemon. So you might be thinking in your head, what the fuck? This is a pure Psychic type with Wonder Guard. It only has 3 weaknesses, and you would be correct. It will instantly die too. Will-O-Wisp, it will instantly die to Sandstorm, it'll instantly die to Hail, it'll instantly die to any type of chip damage at all. And then of course it will instantly die to any Dark, Ghost, or Bug type move. Tons of Pokemon get access to it. I don't think there will be a single Pokemon in the hack without at least one Dark, Bug, or Ghost type move. I don't think there's a single one. I really don't think so. When I say that everyone has one, they all do. And even if they don't, they probably get Natural Gift, which can become any type. So there's no way that Unown can wall your Pokemon. However, the issue is, so for the player, it's amazing because the AI is not always going to have those types of moves. Obviously, I will try to have at least one Pokemon on every team have that type of move. That's not even something I would probably have to do consciously. It'll probably just happen naturally. But like, you can definitely wall individual Pokemon with great ease. You can also just kill the Pokemon or bait the Pokemon in that have those types. So say, for example, you're fighting a trainer and they have 3 Pokemon with a move that can hit you, and the other 3 Pokemon cannot touch you whatsoever. So what you can do is you can lure those Pokemon out, because the AI will always send out a Pokemon. Basically, the way the AI works, I'll definitely make more in-depth videos on the way the Pokemon AI works in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I will definitely be making like strategy guides for the trainers and stuff. But just as a rule of thumb, they will send in whatever Pokemon is super effective against yours, and then they also prioritize order of the party. So say, for example, a trainer has 3 Pokemon and their 3 last Pokemon have super effective moves on Unown, and then their 3 first Pokemon don't. So if the Pokemon absolutely cannot touch you or Unown, the AI is kind of weird. So even if I put max AI, they don't always switch out, but they will sometimes switch out if they cannot touch you whatsoever. However, I think they might actually try to hit you a few times, and then they'll realize, like, I can't touch this Unown, and they'll instantly swap out after a couple turns. They won't swap out like first turn, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it works. And I also know that they will probably try to use status moves on you, and then once those fail as well, then they'll probably switch out. So that's really interesting. So you can actually get a lot of free turns with Unown. So Unown walls 15 out of 18 types of the game. So besides Sandstorm, hazards, all that stuff, hail, burn, besides all that chip damage, Unown will in fact, it'll die. Sorry, it will wall everything besides those. It will not die. It will be immortal, which is amazing. I mean, it's great. It's a great Pokemon. I know it seems kind of lazy, but I actually want to talk about the logic of Wonder Guard, because I think it actually fits very well. And I think if any other Pokemon in the whole game were to have Wonder Guard, it should be like Arceus, Unown. Arceus isn't going to have it, obviously, but I mean, it's not even going to be fightable, most likely. I'll have to like shoehorn it in as a boss somewhere, maybe post-game as like an Easter egg or something. But nonetheless, Unown is actually a very good contender for Wonder Guard, in my opinion. Obviously, in-game, well, honestly, if they just gave it Wonder Guard as a hidden ability and then it only had hidden power, it would still probably kind of suck. It would be like a very, very gimmicky win condition. But with Team Preview, it's kind of mid, especially with like hazards and singles and shit. And then doubles, it might be okay, actually, as a win condition, honestly. I can totally see it working in doubles with Wonder Guard, but they would never do that. So not only does it just have Wonder Guard, but it also has a lot of new moves. But as for the logic of Wonder Guard, I think it fits pretty well. I mean, there are these enigmatic symbols, and they are, they come together to make this weird, strange power, and they're ancient Pokemon, and they're just weird fucks. And like, I think it just really fits to have this like like, you know, they're always seen around like Arceus. They're seen in space. Like, I think it's kind of cool that they would have this like aura to them, or this shield that would just prevent them from being damaged by anything that isn't super effective. Dude, he's fucking. My roommate is practicing again. Oh my god. I hope you can. Hold on. Let me actually just. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. I have to. Sorry, everyone. I have to just quickly send this message. I don't edit my videos, so it'll take probably a minute or two. Okay. Sorry, I just have to finish stuff. I just texted them to stop just until I'm done. Won't take long. So I don't want to rush this, but I also don't want to keep them waiting. What was I saying? So Wonder Guard, yeah, it fits very well in my opinion. It's just, you know, there's these weird like telepathic, enigmatic, ancient beings, you know, like on par with like Arceus and stuff. So I think Wonder Guard fits very well. I understand that Shedinja has it because it's undead, but doesn't change the fact that he still shouldn't have this wondrous guard around him that shields him from attacks. So, move-wise, again, for the player, this is a lot stronger than it is for the AI, because with AI, you can always just run a super effective move. Although, if you are going in blind, then you might be in trouble, because if you for some reason don't have a single Dark Ghost or Psychic type move, or your Pokemon with that move fainted, then you're kind of screwed over. But if you're doing a Nuzlocke, I would recommend looking at the docs for trainers while you prepare. And if you don't, then I guarantee you one of your Pokemon will probably have one of those 3 types of moves. And across an entire team, there's no way you don't have at least one. There's no way. It's very unlikely. And it's definitely impossible that you don't have access to one of them by a TM or tutor. So it's not like it's just going to instantly wall you. So it has the same weaknesses. So it's weak to Ghost and Dark like Shedinja is. So Ghost and Dark will hit all the Wonder Guard Pokemon in the hack. So Ghost and Dark is surefire way to be able to instantly take care of Unown and Shedinja. Bug is super effective against Unown, and then Shedinja is weak to Rock, Flying, and Fire, as well as Ghost and Dark. I believe that's it. It's just 5 weaknesses for Shedinja, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that's that. So yeah, what was I trying to say here? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. That still threw me off. Okay, yeah, so move pool, okay? Move pool is excellent. It's not winning any awards. So the main advantage, okay, you might be thinking, isn't this just better than Shedinja now? Well, Shedinja will be much stronger, first and foremost. Number 2, it will have much more moves. Shedinja will have an actual move pool. Like it'll have a full set of regular moves, including setup moves that aren't useless, because Cosmic Power is only useful for stored power, but it is actually really useful. I'll cover that in a second, but it's gimmicky. It's good. It's very good. I mean, again, 15 out of the 18 types in the game literally do 0 damage to you. So that's the price you're paying for having a limited move pool, and it's better than just hidden power, that's for sure. So I did go around the other ROM hacks I've gone, giving it the power moves. However, I did also give it some other unique stuff that I think fits. So I'll be covering what those do and why I give it to them. So first and foremost, hidden power. 60 base power can be any type, but of course that type is static. It does not change. So catch a good Unown, catch one with Psychic if you want, or catch one with coverage. It's up to you. So then you have access via TM and tutor. You have nature power and earth power. Earth power via tutor and nature power via TM. So nature power is actually really good, because nature power plus psychic terrain becomes psychic. So again, since you are immune to everything besides 3 types, you can just set up psychic terrain and then use psychic terrain boosted psychic for 5 turns. Actually, you can run terrain extender if you wanted to. You can also run, of course, Focus Sash. That's an excellent option as well. Not as good as it is on Shedinja, because I know Shedinja runs like Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak and stuff with Focus Sash. Shedinja will do similar things, however, I believe I'll be making it a special attacker, because I don't see physical attack on it at all. I mean, it can barely even, like, I mean, I guess it can slash and stuff, but I don't really see it. I'd rather have it be a special attacker, but it will have Nasty Plot and Coal Mine and other setup. So similar concept. Unown can't really use Sash as well, but it can still use it. That's for sure. And trust me, it gets better. It'll get better. So yeah, early game you have Psychic Terrain plus Nature Power, which is really nice, and that again becomes Psychic. You can also use that under other terrains. So Psychic Terrain is leveled up, but then you also have Electric Terrain and Grassy Terrain as TMs that other Pokemon can learn. So you can get terrain boosted Thunderbolt or Energy Ball, which is nice. Of course, you can also get Moonblast under Misty Terrain, but that's not a TM. That's mostly just level up on with Misty Surge. That's also awesome. You know, you can have an Unown on one of these terrain teams. You can also have Unown on a Psychic Terrain team and just get Psychic instantly. You don't even have to run Psychic Terrain. So that's awesome. That also makes it immune to priority, which is not the biggest deal, but you know, it's nice to be immune to stuff like Sucker Punch, Night Burst. What else is there that's super effective? That's priority. First Impression, Sucker Punch, Night Burst, Silver Gale, Spook, and Shadow Sneak. Those are the priority moves that are super effective against you. So being immune to those is also nice to have. It's just nice. That's awesome. And then level 15, you get Secret Power. Secret Power is pretty weak. Oh, also funny, I didn't mention this yet. 201 base stat total because they are the 201st Pokemon. That's why. I just figured the other stats are useless anyways. The only things that matter are attack and speed. So, and physical attack being 72 feels kind of weird. So I just dropped that to 54 to make it 201, and then these two are equal, 72, 72. 72 speed is pretty solid. I actually did not add them to the speed tier guide. I have to do that right now. They do stack up decently well. I mean, again, you can always speed pass into your Unown, or you can run Scarf Unown. Could be decent. But overall, you're running Unown when you can't be hit. You know, that's any other situation, you're not running it. So you're not going to use it in that case. So yeah, Sash Unown is amazing. Sash Unown can actually one-shot things that can kill it as well, with stuff that I'll cover in a second. So, Secret Power, it's weak, it's 80 base power, it has a 50% chance to status, depending on what you're in. So, depending on where you are, that can have a different effect. It's not too important for Unown, so I'm not going to waste time covering it, but it is very good for other Pokemon like Cerebrace, Dunsparce, and stuff, because you can actually have a guaranteed freeze in certain situations, which is kind of funny. Only very specific situations, only under like icy caves and stuff, but either way, yeah, Ancient Power is awesome. Ancient Power is 60 base power, it has more PP, and it has a 15% chance to boost all your stats by 1. So that works great with Stored Power. So I'm going to cover Stored Power now because it's soon, and then I'll cover the rest of them. So Stored Power is your main attacking move, along with Hidden Power and Ancient Force. Ancient Force is incredible, but that is is your last move actually. So Stored Power is 20 base power, but that gets a +1 boost. Plus 20 base power boost for every time you have a boost, and you get +1 special attack for each time you click it. So the only downside is that only has 3 PP for the reason that for other regular Pokemon that can sweep entire teams, and honestly, even in this case, it debatably can. So say you are against a Pokemon and you get 3 Cosmic Powers, which is the maximum because Cosmic Power is 3 PP. So you have 3 Cosmic Powers up, that's 6 stat boosts. That will become 120 base power plus 20, that's 140 base power stored power. And then you get 160, then you get 180, and then your last stored power will be 200 base power. And then, of course, at that point, it'll be +6 special attack. Oh, sorry, +3 special attacks. And then you can use your other moves for the last 3 Pokemon, say if you're sweeping and they can't touch you for some reason. Obviously, you'd ideally want to just kill whatever can touch you first, and then sweep with your Unown. So it does take some team support, and you have to be careful with it, but that's the whole point. You know, otherwise it's overpowered. It still is debatably overpowered, honestly, but it's Unown. And I think if you're doing a Nuzlocke, which is not intended, but I wouldn't say intended, but it was designed with it in mind. So, you know, if that's the case, you have a very small chance of getting an Unown, you know, considering all the other Pokemon. So I'm not too worried about it. But if you purposely seek one out, you know, then and you do good with it, then you know, more power to you. It is somewhat difficult to pull off, but not actually difficult. There's a very fine balance between ridiculously overpowered and niche. But I think Unown has a good spot there, because it can be very overpowered, and it can also be bad. It really just depends on whatever the trainer is, you know. So that's awesome. Say Ancient Power is good coverage. Also Earth Power. Earth Power is just good because it hits. So for example, if you're under Psychic terrain, you're a Psychic. Earth Power will hit stuff that resists Psychic, such as Steel, which is nice, and also just things that like neutrally resist Psychic. So that's awesome. And you have Ancient Power, which can hit more too, like Ancient Power, Earth Power plus Nature Power becoming Psychic is good. And then you have Stored Power, which again is amazing with Cosmic Power, so you can get those boosts. I always say the Cosmic Power defense boosts are only for Stored Power. I'm not stupid, like I am aware that you don't actually get defense boost because you got any hit no matter what. Any hit that will hit you. So I'm not trying to make any claims that like sword power is that cosmic power is amazing, that you can like live every hit. It's amazing because you can get up to +3. Even after one cosmic power, stored power becomes 60 base power, and then after that burst use of stored power, it becomes 80, and it becomes 100, and it becomes 120. You understand? So it is a very, very, very good move with the buff, despite only having 3 PP. And then of course, once you run out, you can always use Earth power or Nature power or Hidden power. And then at level 55, which will be around the time you reach Pony Island, you'll be getting access to the move Ancient Force. This is where it gets really impressive. So Ancient Force is a 110 base power move, but with the boost from the plate, it's from Judgment, okay? So with the boost from the plate, you are getting what's 10%? 10% is 11 times 2 is 22. That is 132. So you have a 132 base power move that becomes any type. And you can change it around freely depending on your plate. And your held item, only the held item you're going to be running most of the time is like a Specs or a Scarf or a Sash, something like that, or a Terrain Extender. You're not running, you don't have too much item freedom, or like Lumberry, or a Rossberry rather. Well, actually, Lumberry, Rossberry, same idea actually, because most of those moves won't affect you anyways. There's one more thing I can't think of that's useful. There's a couple more niche things that are useful, but overall it's mostly those items. So for example, Mind Plate Unknown gets a 132 base power stab move, which is over double the power of Hidden power. Obviously with Hidden power, with a Mind Plate, Hidden power becomes 72 base power, but it's still really strong. And that has no drawbacks, and I believe it has 5 PP as well. Let me check. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 or 10 PP. Sorry, Ancient Force, not Ancient power. 5 PP, yeah, which is reasonable. So that's really, really fucking cool, man. And you can use that with any type. So you can run Stored Power, Cosmic Power, Earth Power, and then Ancient Force to cover whatever the fuck you don't cover. It can become any type, so it's extremely adaptable. So you always have your Ancient Power, you always have your Earth Power, you always have Psychic under Psychic Terrain, you always have Thunderbolt and Energy Ball under Grassy, and you always have those other terrain moves with Nature power. You have your Hidden power type, so whatever that is what you have. And then you have Ancient Force for offensive stuff. And then a really useful move at level 35 is Strange Impulse. So the reason I chose this move for it is because these decks here, it says, hold on, there's a dex entry that like made me think of it. Here it says that an odd power is said to emerge. So I just felt like that odd power could be interpreted as like a strange impulse. Like they can probably release some strange, weird sound wave or whatever. And what that does is it lowers special attack by 2. It's from Eerie Impulse. I just changed the name so it seems less ghostly. So I can give it to like all the extra types and other stuff, other weird mons. And Unknown being another weird mon makes sense for Strange Impulse. And that is great because what you can do is switch your Unknown in on something that can't touch it and then get them to -6 special attack, and then you can switch out. Or you can kill them, you can use that and then you can switch out. Or of course you can kill them, but most likely they will be swapping out once they realize they can't touch you. So after a couple turns they will swap out. So you only have a couple of turns free depending on the situation if they can't touch you. And of course, if you lure out on purpose the Pokemon that can kill you, then you automatically win the battle no matter what. I mean, if you ensure that everything that can kill you is dead already, again, hypothetically say that I'm gonna do a little thought experiment. All right, I'm gonna go random Pokemon generator. All right, let's just do Gen 1 because that's all I know that all Gen 1 Pokemon are done. So generate. All right, Ninetales is Fire Fairy. Okay. Blastoise is Pure Water. Megalov's to Water Steel. So let's say a Pokemon's trainer team is so let's type it in. Ninetales. I know I spelled that wrong, but it doesn't matter. Ninetales, Blastoise. Okay. Aerodactyl, Golem, and then 2 more. Magnezone and Beedrill. Okay, so let's say that's a trainer's team, okay? Hypothetically, this is just a very hypothetical thing. That list, I can actually scroll up just so you guys can see it on the top. I know I spelled the names wrong, I was just typing quickly. So say that these mons are only running stab, all right? They're only running stab moves. I'll just give hypothetical movesets for all these guys, all right? Stab plus grass move. Stab plus ice move. Stab plus ground move. Stab only. Stab plus electric move. And then Beedrill running stab. So the only Pokemon that can actually touch you on that team would be Beedrill. So if you kill that Beedrill. So say, for example, say the team order is this exact move. You want to lure that Beedrill out, right? So you kill something with Unknown, or in fact, they hard swap right into the Beedrill on your Unknown. Then you can actually swap into your own Beedrill answer, kill Beedrill, and now you sweep. You win the battle automatically, assuming that they have no other ways to touch you. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but in a lot of cases, you really can lure the 1 or 2 Pokemon on the team that can touch you. So if you're smart about it, you can literally just guarantee that you'll win the battle. Shedinja can do similar things, but Shedinja has more weaknesses, so it's harder to do. It has 3 more weaknesses. Sorry, 2 more. Yeah. And Unknown's weaknesses are arguably less common, being Bug, Psychic, and Dark. Obviously, Bug is an amazing offensive type now, but I would still argue that Fire, Rock, and Flying are more common, arguably. So yeah, I think I've covered about everything, honestly. It is very strong. It is extremely useful. It is extremely skillful to use. How do I word that? It's a Pokemon that has a high skill cap of using, but that skill cap is extremely high, and at worst case, like, it's still a good mon to have just to wall things. It can wall Totem, although I'll probably make sure that every Totem has at least one way to kill Unknown, just because I kind of have to do that. I don't want people just sending it Unknown. I mean, at least up to the point where you can catch it, which I'm not exactly sure where it'll be catchable. Possibly the ruins by what's the place called? By the Ruins of Life on Akala Island. The route right below where you normally get the TM for Leech Life. That's actually where you get the TM for Nature Power now, which is funny. No, sorry. Rock Slide is there now. Yeah, Nature Power is in Laurentis' lair. It's where you get TM 28, I believe. So, if you guys know what route I'm talking about, yeah, probably there. If not there, then like some other weird spot or like a gift or something. I don't know. Most likely just in a random spot that like fits. So yeah. I think that's really about it. I couldn't do any differences for the letters because they're listed as 1 mon. Otherwise, I would have maybe thought of doing something kind of funny with each of the letters, but it would have been gimmicky regardless, and it would have been kind of annoying to like get the right one, the one that you want, and some of them would be better than others. So it's better just to have it simple. They're all the same. I think that's really about it. I mean, it's extremely useful. It's definitely better than the other fucking hacks that just give it like a little bit more special attack or a speed and then like 5 decent moves. It's just not, it's bad. And in a hack like this, where everything is on even footing, which again is the main goal of this hack, is to make everything genuinely viable and fun to use and unique, and also just to rebalance a lot of stuff like hacks and you know, all kinds of other stuff. And it's an awesome hack. So if you did find this interesting or you like this video, make sure you subscribe. That would help. It would help boost the algorithm. If you could comment down below, like the video, that kind of stuff. If you enjoyed, obviously I'm not going to hold you at gunpoint and tell you to do that, but if you enjoyed it, that would be helpful for me and for the algorithm, and it would be helpful to have more people see my stuff. So yeah, I really don't think there's too much else to talk about with Unknown. Again, I think the first time state was at 5:30 and now we're at 27, so nearly half an hour, just like I anticipated. So yeah, I don't think I need to talk too much longer. It's a great mon, really fun to use, super rewarding and super good. So at risk of repeating myself even more, I'm going to end it off here now. So thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate the time. Yeah, I'll be back for more probably later today. So see you until then.